our behavior as to how we will carry ourselves to continue to get this giving. But in the past 3-4 weeks, we have been talking about the racial protests and marches that are going into the streets of this country, and talking a little bit about how we individually are affected by it, and also how can we affect change. It's been presented to me in the question about leadership in terms of the groups and the Black Lives Matter groups and the other groups about who's the leader and who should we follow. Well, just to say this, the leadership today, it's not like the leadership back in my day. For example, in '67 in the Detroit riots. Back then, there was one or two people that you could look to as our leader, and then as a result, we would carry ourselves accordingly. But today, 50 years later, the protest itself encompasses more than just one issue. There is the issue of racial injustice. There is the issue of age injustice. There is the issue of sex injustice, sexism, and others issues where there is a need for leadership in terms of those areas as it relates to the injustice that exists there. So, to say the very least, the leadership today must somehow encompass all of these different frames of references with regards to injustice. Now, to say that one person can do that is a large task, because unlike 50 years ago, and we've had 50 years of increased technology, by one click of the Google button, you can find out about anyone, like myself, who stands before you and claims to be a leader, proclaiming to be a leader. Well, you can determine, if nothing else, you can find out whether or not that person has knowledge about the area of which you're concerned. Ageism, sexism, racism. So, to say that one person can fit this bill today, it's a very difficult situation to comprehend. But there is a silver lining here, ladies and gentlemen. And the silver lining, I believe, is you. We've all, for example, experienced some kind of injustice on our job, in our workplace, in our social settings. We've experienced, whether it's racism, sexism, ageism, we've experienced that. And no one, I'm saying that no one is in a better position to fight that than you. Now, you don't have to, and we encourage you not to fight with the fire bombs and Molotov cocktails or whatever you call it, but you fight it here. You fight it with knowledge and communication. You're the best person who are in a position to know what goes on at your job setting, at your social setting, which means that you're in the best position to fight this problem. You see, that line, that protest line, when it's all over with, and everybody goes back to their houses or whatever, and the groups, different facets get their monies, ladies and gentlemen, there's still the issue. That intricate issue that is working on your job that you've experienced. That issue that is working on your job as it relates to sexism, racism, ageism. And you're the one. You're not the formalized group or now the group that's going to come in and try to make change, but you can reach that person in HR, human resources. You can reach the person on the board of directors of that company that you know about that is discriminating against women. You can reach them, and you can present that, and you can gain their trust because they know you've worked for their agency or the organization. You see? Yes, we've lost, in terms of having the leadership, we've lost that intricacy of needing the group, but we got something even better. We got you. Countless of individuals who've experienced racism, sexism, ageism, fighting this problem from where they are now. Not running out into the streets picking up Molotov cocktails and fire bombs, but sitting down with logic and understandings about what the problem is and trying to affect change and affecting change and moving forward. You see, when you say leadership today is not the same thing as leadership 50 years ago, I agree. Because I believe that you are the leader. Lead us and we'll follow. Lead us and we'll listen. Lead us and we'll share the information that you have to others, one job at a time, one organization at a time. You see, ladies and gentlemen, when you present yourself, when you continue the struggle, you set in motion situations that the group, the protest, they couldn't begin to understand. But you're doing it, and you're doing it within the confines of your organization, creating change for the good. So ladies and gentlemen, I say, the leadership is you. Will you lead us? Show us the way. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Creighton Rippey. I am the director of the Greater Detroit Community Outreach Center here in Detroit, Michigan. You can reach us at 313-891-7030, or you can reach us on the World Wide Web at www.greaterdetroitoutreach.org. Thank you for looking in.